Dia de los Muertos is more popular than ever in Mexico and increasingly abroad. Day of the Dead is not a Mexican version of Halloween. Although related, the two events differ greatly in traditions and tone. Whereas Halloween is a dark night of terror and mischief, Day of the Dead festivities unfold over 2 days in an explosion of color and life-affirming joy. Sure, the theme is death, but the point is to demonstrate love and respect for deceased family members. Day of the Dead is an extremely social holiday that spills into the streets and public squares at all hours of the day and night. People dress up as skeletons, and that's part of the fun. People of all ages have their faces artfully painted to resemble skulls, and mimicking the Calavera Catrina, they don suits and fancy dresses. Today, we will be creating our masks inspired by this celebrated holiday. Hey guys, so we are almost done with our masks that we've been working on for so long. I'm really excited to see what these look like when they're all done. So I know we've had a lot of steps and that y'all are excited to take these home, but there's one more thing that I want y'all to work on today. Today is our last day, so hopefully we have all the details that we wanted. You're gonna be taking one of these. It looks like either a bunch of white paint or glue inside a little cup, but this is actually called Mod Podge. Mod Podge will make things shiny. So for example, I put Mod Podge on this side. You can see how it's, ooh, shiny, shiny. But on this side, it's just kind of normal and plain. This is optional for you. However, I do think it looks better with the shiny Mod Podge. So I'll show you how that would work. You'll need a few different things. You'll need a placemat, you'll need a paper towel, and then you'll also need a water cup. So what you're gonna do is you're going to open up your Mod Podge. So make sure that is open. Please share with a partner. I don't have enough for everyone. You're going to dip into the Mod Podge and go ahead and saturate your mask. Now it looks a little bit strange, it looks a little bit funky. It looks like we're going over it with like a white paint. I promise it's gonna dry clear and you will think it is so cool and shiny. So I went ahead and I finished my Mod Podge. Don't worry, it's going to dry down super shiny and clear so you won't see all those white streaks. If you could please place your mask on the back counter underneath or over a placemat, that would be awesome so that it can dry. There is one more activity that I need you to work on before you leave class today. So it's time that we do a self-assessment. What a self-assessment is basically that you're grading yourself. We're thinking about all the different processes that we had during this project, and then you're answering some questions that help me get to know how you feel about this project. The very first thing it asks from us is what's the artist. So the artist basically is you. So I'm gonna write Mr. Boatfield because that is my name, but if you have your own special name, you need to write that. And then the next line asks us for a title. So the title is your creative name to this project. I think I'm just going to be Scary Mask because I think that my mask is a little scary. But you can make up your own name. Some of you decided to do characters. If you'd like to name it after the character that you were inspired by, that's totally fine with me. So I use these tools to create my work of art. So I want you to think about all the different things that we use to create this project. There was a day where we could sketch out our mask, so I'm gonna circle pencil. You might have used colored pencils. I don't know if I really had these out. You might have used markers. Maybe you used crayon to create your sketch. We use scissors when we cut out the mask and cut off the edges, so I'm gonna do that. We obviously use paper because we did a paper mache project, and we obviously used a lot of glue because this is paper mache. We use paint, but there's some things in here that we might not have mentioned. We could put Sharpie, so you'd have to write that in, Sharpie, and then also go ahead and draw what a Sharpie looks like as if I don't know. This is your self-assessment, so you're writing this for you. This is how I know how you feel about the project. And if you can think of any more different materials that we use for this project, please go ahead and write them in here and then also draw a picture of it. This next question says, I learned that I can. So this really could be anything. It could be that I learned that I can use paint. I learned that I can create a mask out of paper. It's really up to you. I'm gonna give you a few seconds to go ahead and talk to a neighbor. I want you to talk about one thing that you learned. Was it something about Dia de los Muertos? Was it something about the materials? Go ahead and talk to a neighbor. Okay, great. So I have decided what I'm gonna do for this question. I learned that I can, and I'm gonna put use paper, and then 2, create a mask. I was surprised that you could use paper to create a mask. That wasn't something I was expecting. So that's one thing that I learned. This does not have to be a complete sentence, so notice that there's a ... As long as you have punctuation at the end, it does not have to be a complete sentence. Now this one is, it says questions I asked ... but we need to phrase it like a complete sentence. So maybe you had a question about Dia de los Muertos. Maybe your question was, why do people wear masks? Try to think back, whether you asked it or not, about one question that you might have had during this project, and it might be a question that you still have about this project that wasn't answered completely. Go ahead and tell a neighbor what you think, and then I would like you to raise your hand and tell the class what your question was. Maybe perhaps we can answer it before you leave today. Okay, awesome. So one question I asked is, what happens, what happens when a person puts on a mask? I was really curious about why people wear masks and why people change their behavior after they put on a mask, and for all the different reasons that people wear them in our culture and then cultures that are far away. So remember, this is a question, so you'll need a question mark at the end of the sentence. And then this is really the most important question, most important to me. This is one of the first questions I read when I look at this and I grade you. I'm proud of blank. So this does not need to be a complete sentence. I would like you to find at least one thing that you are proud of. It could be the color. It could be that your mask is really strong. It really could be anything. I want you to think really hard. I'm gonna give you some think time. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna count to 10. I would like everyone just to silently think about one thing that they might have been proud of during this whole process. I'm gonna count to 10. Once we have counted to 10, I would like you to share with the person. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, I'm gonna go ahead and let you share with a partner. Go ahead and share with somebody one thing that you are proud of. When you feel ready, I want you to complete this worksheet and then please turn it into me at the middle table. That way I know that you're completely done with this project, and then choose a different activity. We have free draw, we have notebook paper, we have coloring sheets, and we also have whiteboards open today. I hope that you have an awesome day, and I'm so excited to see what these look like when they are all done.